Baby boomer generation ages, younger Americans are having to provide for their elders. We've heard of the increasing demand for nursing facilities and of children being forced to quit their jobs to care for their aging parents. That trend can also be seen within religious institutions such as monasteries and convents. But there it's more pronounced. As Gretchen Frazee reports, that's putting a strain on congregations' budgets and prompting some nuns to seek creative ways to provide for their aging sisters.
At the Monastery Immaculate Conception in the small southern Indiana town of Ferdinand, a bell calls the Sisters of St. Benedict to noon prayer. This church, with its nearly 90-foot-tall vaulted ceiling, is 110 years old, and a quick survey of the sisters gathered in it shows most of them are only a few decades younger.
The average age is 72.
Sister Jean Marie Ballard has been a member here for 38 years. She says the average age of the sisters has increased over the past few years, and that means there are more medical bills that need to be paid and more time dedicated to caring for the older sisters.
They have dedicated their life to servicing mostly education, but somewhere in healthcare, pastoral care. So they're members of our community. Of course, we want to take care of them, just like you would want to take care of your grandmother. They have needs, and we're a family.
Congregations like the Sisters of St. Benedict are falling on hard financial times for three main reasons. First, fewer nuns are entering religious life, and that means fewer young people to support the elderly. In 1994, there were about 1.5 wage earners for every one retired person in religious institutions nationwide. This year, there is fewer than one wage earner for every 2 retired people. Second, modern medicine is helping nuns live longer, but medical costs are already high, and they're rising. Finally, many religious orders used to earn income from private academies, which have become obsolete.
In the early 1800s, there wasn't, especially in Indiana, there wasn't publicly funded education. The sisters came over here, first of all, they want, to teach these poor, immigrant children, and most of whose parents could not afford to pay very much. And so what many of them did was that they had a academy for wealthy students that paid tuition, and most of these students were Protestant. And then they used the money that they made from these academies both to support themselves and to teach the poorest children, which was, really their ministry.
The Sisters of St. Benedict, for example, used to run an academy for high school girls that helped bring in extra money, but they finally had to shut it down in 2000.
Not too many young women want to come to Ferdinand, Indiana and attend high school. So financially we needed to close it.
All this means congregations need more money, and fast. By 2030, the National Religious Retirement Office estimates congregations will have a $10 billion shortfall in their retirement plans. So sisters in Indiana are finding new sources of income.
A couple of gentlemen approached us about using one of our buildings. When our academy was open, it was an art studio. But these two gentlemen want to brew beer, a microbrewery. So why not? It's using our buildings. It will draw people to the monastery. Lots of people come to the monastery and enjoy the peacefulness of the setting, and why not share that with them?
The Sisters of St. Benedict are also applying to lease out another one of their vacant buildings to Section 8 housing. But other sisters are still searching for answers. Members of the Sisters of Providence of St. Mary of the Woods near Terre Haute gathered to celebrate their founder, St. Mother Theodore Guerin, whose shrine was completed last month.
The average age of the congregation is probably in its high 70s. But you'd never know it because people say we don't act our age.
The Sisters of Providence are strong supporters of eco-justice. They maintain gardens and orchards and raise alpacas in their effort towards sustainable living. But last year, their concern for their aging sisters led them to explore whether oil drilling on their land would be an option.
We had hoped that drilling for oil would be our nest egg, and in fact, it proved not to be.
The oil company CountryMark tested and decided there wasn't enough oil to drill. Many of the sisters were relieved, but it also left them searching and praying for a solution.
The Eco Justice Center is probably never going to be the thing that helps us make a lot of money. However, we don't know what the future might be. We don't know if perhaps there might be some other uses for some of our buildings, our property.
But Sister Paula says, like many of Indiana's religious congregations, they continue to hope and are confident they'll continue their mission for years to come.
We're women of Providence, and so we have always relied on Providence to carry us through. Mother Theodore said in 1843, "Let us trust in the Providence that thus far has never failed us." It's 2014. Providence has never failed us. So we're hope-filled, we're trusting. The way is not yet clear, she said. Grope along slowly, be patient, be trustful, do not press matters. That's the stance we take.
The National Religious Retirement Office does have a fund they distribute to congregations each year, but nuns in Indiana say it's not enough to cover their cost, and they can't be sure people will keep contributing to the fund. And the microbrewery we mentioned, the owners say they hope to open by next spring.